Come to think about it, Mexicans were never valued in America. I mean, if they were, why is there no Little Mexico? Why is there only Chinatowns? You ever think about that? Never a Little Mexico, Chinatown. When they make these certain little towns, little annex off these certain areas of a city, they're saying that this population of people have something of value that we deem as profitable, or they have something about them that is going to, that's a benefit to this country, right? So we have a certain people, the Asians are here and they've been here for a while now. And if you go and eat every major American city, what do you see? A Chinatown. You see a Chinatown everywhere you look. Everywhere you look. Chinese restaurants, Chinese stores, a whole section of a lot of the major cities have Chinatowns. You don't see any Little Mexicos, and Mexicans are the biggest population of immigrants in the country. I find that kind of weird. You don't see that. All you see is them working at, trying to get jobs at Home Depot. And I'm not against Mexicans. I'm just trying to be real. So when you voted for Donald Trump, a lot of you did, trying to, associate with whiteness. You wanted to say that, we stand with you, and, the whole facade was we want to get out the criminals that came illegally, because we want to be seen as those that are, doing the right things, and we are just, we're Americans and we want to work hard, and there's people that come from our nation and are, that are not doing it the right way, and we don't want to be plotted and put into that barrel. But when you think about it, the main reason, and I think we all know now, is they wanted to be associated with whiteness, and they knew their numbers were rising in this country, and they felt like, they want to usurp blacks. They want to usurp blacks and be the minority that's like just right below YT. And because they're not us, they felt like they would get the benefits. But it shows what happens when you come in with a mindset that is full of hate, when you are trying to deceive people and think you're going to get away with it by claiming you're doing one thing, but for one reason, but you're actually doing it for another reason. A lot of the time that just kind of blows up, and it blows up in your face. And this was this was a major example of how that can happen. I find that strange that there is no Little Mexicos in the major cities. I've always felt that was kind of weird. Asians are here, but they don't have the numbers like Latinos. The biggest voting bloc, immigrant voting bloc, minority voting bloc in the country is Latinos. And they were brought here to take away jobs from African Americans. They were brought here to make sure that we didn't have the resources that we once had, because we were benefiting too much from coming together and unifying back in the 50s and the 60s. Even in the early, 20th century, we were making our own towns, making banks. And of course, you guys know about Black Wall Street and all these things, Rosewood and all these things. But we were making progress as a people that were oppressed in a country that hated us. And we had been here for hundreds of years, and they saw our progress and it scared them. They said they don't need us and they can do this without us. And we need to stop this whole unifying spirit that is arising in Black America. So they went in, and of course they bombed and destroyed our cities. They bombed and destroyed our banks, our hospitals, and they basically turned the narrative against us. And they always do it with an agenda. Each time they bombed our institutions that we built from scratch, they said that we had come before it happened. They said that we did something to them, like either we touched one of their women, or did something wrong with one of their women, or we did something that went against the laws of the nation. They always have some sort of false flag that they try to come against us in order to make it seem like to the public or to the world like they're justified to justify. Because YT always wants to be the victim. And even now they're trying to do it by Trump trying to initiate these different laws and trying to, do things to make us mad and rile us up. Mexicans think that they have a value in this country when there's been no example that this country values them. There's been an example that this country values Asians, like I said, by creating all of these different Chinatowns in the major cities, which allows them to push and spread their culture to the city, to the country. They get loans to build, different shops and just different, places of business to build and grow their community. But Latinos don't do that. You see them, like I said, out there in Home Depot trying to get jobs for people, from people, and they're very hardworking, and they work for cheap because they Latino people do work hard, and that's just what we all know. But they get taken advantage of by YTs because of that. They know that they want to be in this country and be kind of near, or not near, but they want to be in a position where they can possibly build themselves up from ground zero, have the opportunity to rise above the conditions that they were in their country. And so because YT knows that, they disrespect them, Latinos, they disrespect Latinos, they make them work for, pretty much slave labor, and Latinos do it. But, the good thing about Latinos is they do work hard. So after a while, they rise up. They may have like 20 people living in the house. Now, that's not no stereotype. I've seen that before. They may have one truck, one car, but they work hard, and all of a sudden they come out later on, and now they got all the stuff they need. They got the best car, the best house. They got it because they work hard. But when you're dealing with those that don't have humanity in their heart, a love for humanity, and most of these people don't. They feel like this is their country and nobody else deserves anything but them. And so this is sad, but they wanted, they got bit by the snake. The snake bit them. This country has never shown Latino people that they value them ever, not one time. And so it's kind of hard for me sitting here just knowing this to see that they wouldn't want to stand with us, people that have been oppressed even more than them, that have told them out of the love of our heart that if you go in this direction, it's going to bite you. You will not like the results. You will not like what this quote unquote friend of yours is going to give you if you decide to hold their hand. Even though you've seen everything they've done to us and you've seen what they've done in the world, I kind of wonder, do you guys see, Mexicans, do you see what these people in power? I'm not talking about all, YT people, because not all YT people are in power, and there are good YT people in the world, just like there's good everyone in the world, of all nations. But the people that are in power are them, and they're the ones that make the laws in most of these nations that have power. So knowing you're in the main nation with these people in power, YT people in power, why would you decide to hold your hand and trust these people when you have no evidence that they ever do any right or any good to anyone? It's all for their benefit. Everything, every law they pass, every initiative, every agenda is laden with some sort of backstory or some sort of a hidden agenda, some nefarious, devious tactic that's going to destroy you and everyone else. That's not them. So it's like, okay, why didn't you see that? Where are your think tanks in the Mexican community? Why would you think that these are the people that you are to trust? Because of your skin color? Because you thought that these people cared that you, because you were lighter than us, that you have a value, when they've shown you that you have no value? They've never shown you that you had a value in this country at any point of your time in this country. Never. They've never shown you that they appreciate you, that they value you. They made Taco Bell. I'm serious. They made a Taco Bell to show your culture. And now you're known in America for Taco Bell, even though there are many, many amazing Latino those that have lots of ingenuity, creators, those that are brilliant in mind, those that are just absolutely out of this world smart and can offer anything, everything. They as far as like advancements of science, just even in sports, you guys are great at sports, soccer. You guys are beautiful people, but they didn't see that. You guys in this country have never been looked at as being anything but a Home Depot worker, a cheap labor worker. That's just the truth. Just like they view African Americans as being the lowest of the low, the bottom of the bottom, the nothing people of the world. And you decided, not all of you, but you decided to stand with them. And I just find that kind of strange. But anyway, yeah, I just had that thought. Like, have you ever thought about that? Why you're the biggest Latino people, Mexicans, you're the biggest population, immigrants in America. And Chinese people are not, Asian people are not, but they have a Chinatown and you don't have a Little Mexico. That's weird.